The UK government has stepped up its efforts to tighten border security, leading to the arrest of thousands of migrants working illegally in various sectors like nail bars, car washes, and restaurants. Since Labour took power on July 5th, there have been about 3,930 arrests made during 5,424 visits by immigration enforcement officers, marking a significant 38% increase compared to the previous year. This crackdown aims to address the issue of illegal immigration, which often involves vulnerable individuals being misled about their ability to live and work in the UK. Many of these migrants undertake perilous journeys organized by criminal gangs, only to find themselves in dire working conditions upon arrival. In January alone, there were 828 visits by enforcement officers, resulting in 609 arrests, which is the highest number recorded for that month since 2019. The migrants arrested came through various routes, including crossing the English Channel and overstaying their visas. They were found in a range of workplaces, from nail salons to convenience stores, often working long hours in poor conditions for employers who evade taxes and undercut legitimate businesses. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper emphasized the need for strict enforcement of immigration rules, stating that for too long, employers have exploited illegal migrants without facing consequences. She pointed out that this not only endangers the lives of those crossing the channel in small boats, but also leads to the exploitation of vulnerable individuals and undermines the economy. In Wales and the west of England, the number of arrests in January more than doubled compared to the previous year, rising from 45 to 101. To further discourage illegal immigration, the government launched a social media campaign in Vietnam and Albania, sharing stories of migrants who faced debt and exploitation after entering the UK illegally. As the government prepares to debate the border security, asylum and immigration bill in the House of Commons, it aims to introduce new offenses and powers to combat people smugglers. The proposed measures include severe penalties for those involved in facilitating dangerous channel crossings, with potential prison sentences of up to 14 years for selling boat parts used in these journeys. Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has pledged to treat people smugglers as terrorists to deter channel crossings, although the government has not set specific targets for reducing the number of arrivals through these routes. Meanwhile, human rights group Liberty has raised concerns about the bill, arguing that it sets a dangerous precedent by introducing counterterrorism powers for non-terrorism offenses without adequate safeguards. The International Rescue Committee UK has welcomed the government's commitment to reforming the asylum system but stresses the need for safe routes for those fleeing conflict and persecution. They warn that without more safe alternatives, vulnerable individuals will continue to rely on smugglers and dangerous routes to seek protection. The bill also proposes to scrap the Safety of Rwanda Act, which was part of a controversial plan to send migrants to Rwanda, and to repeal parts of the Illegal Migration Act. However, some measures from the law may be retained for operational reasons, including limits on the number of people allowed to arrive through safe and legal routes. Law Society of England and Wales President Richard Atkinson has called for the bill to go further by repealing all parts of the Illegal Migration Act and the Nationality and Borders Act, while also advocating for more resources for immigration legal advice. He emphasized that any new legislation would be ineffective without sufficient legal aid for immigration cases. The Conservatives have proposed an amendment to the bill to include their immigration proposals, which would extend the time it takes for migrants to obtain indefinite leave to remain and increase the waiting period for citizenship applications. Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp criticized the bill as weak, arguing that it won't effectively stop illegal crossings and that a more robust deterrent is needed. In response, a Labour spokesperson accused the Conservatives of lacking credibility and failing to address the issue of small boat crossings and high net migration. They asserted that the Labour government has a solid plan to tackle people smuggling gangs with enhanced powers for law enforcement, aiming to rectify the situation left by the previous administration.